What if there was a sort of plug-and-play program that, 20 million people have already been through and have been influenced by worldwide, every country, every culture. And what if I told you that it's the most predictably redemptive tool I've ever seen in 40 years of ministry?
I actually got a phone call from Bill Hybels, and the very first thing he said, before we ever talked business or anything else, he just said this: "Hey Dave, are you guys using Alpha?" And he says, "I'm telling you, this is the greatest thing." And basically, he was like selling it to me.
We just didn't have a front door for those people that were outside the church to explore God, especially to welcome them, to bring questions, to bring frustrations, anger, disappointment.
People do still have real questions about what it means to be human. Is there more to life than this? The role of spirituality in the modern world. Alpha has impacted our church culture by bringing evangelism back to the forefront in what we do.
For the person who's never heard the gospel, it's an easy on-ramp. What I didn't anticipate was this relationship that began to take place. People sitting at tables, kind of initially like this, thinking, what in the heck, I'm not gonna talk to you about my life, what a waste of time. All of a sudden starting to talk like this, and then they're talking like this, and then they're praying with each other. And that happened in just a matter of weeks. And all of a sudden, in our case anyway, a big church became small.
I think the secret behind Alpha is the safe community that it creates. I mean, relationships are always relevant, where you can ask anything, where you can say anything, you can disclose anything and know that you're not going to be judged. This is a place where you can put it all on the table.
To be honest, we stumbled upon trying to create assimilation programs and discipleship programs for new believers, and we've changed it so many times it just didn't seem to work as successfully as we wanted to. So we thought, Alpha, so many churches are doing Alpha, why not Hillsong do Alpha? And we started it, and it's just taking off in all kinds of environments.
It has completely altered the spiritual DNA of our church. And we had so many people that were under-discipled. Alpha created the infrastructure that enabled us to become more effective as a church, and it actually creates leaders and creates resources.
For me as a lead pastor, I just began to watch this increase, not only in people showing up, but again, the right kind of people. People that never would have maybe even seen themselves, quote unquote, leading in church, became phenomenal leaders. This is so much more than a program to run. There was cultural shifts that were happening, people being activated that had not been activated in our church.
I remember when I was first asked about doing Alpha, I remember the suspicion I had about it. Is that going to work with millennials? Is that going to work in a different culture? And I have to say, I've actually been blown away and just really, really surprised at how relevant, how well the format fits, and the ways that God's using it.
If how many friends your church members have is the #1 predictor of spiritual growth and church satisfaction, and you have a program like Alpha that gets them to have dinner together over the course of 2 to 3 months, this is the perfect marriage to create spiritual growth.
One of the crises that we have just culturally is people don't have friends anymore. We're more connected than we've ever been, but we don't have friends. So Alpha's made friends with each other and with God. It's a home run.
I love the humility of Alpha. I love the fact that Alpha is about the Big C church. I love that everything you see and hear and feel that comes from Alpha is about the church advancing. It's about the church being the ultimate winner in this conversation.
I mean, in many regards, when you look at what Alpha's doing globally, you can make a case that it's perhaps the greatest evangelistic tool in the history of Christianity.
Would you just strike that match one time? Would you pilot one Alpha group in your church? Please just try it one time, and then God will guide from there.